Mr. Burr.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, or at least I think thank you. It's somewhat difficult to follow Senator Roberts because I think it's safe to say that there was not full agreement among members of the course that we're currently on. But the fact is that we've got the task to do it now, and for that reason you're here today. Let me move to a section that we've already covered to some degree, and that's the notification that went from either agency, specifically to the aviation world about the potential threat. Let me, for the purposes of your answer, ask you to separate the FAA from the commercial airline industry and ask you, was the alert that went out to one or to both, the alert that went out within the entire community about an imminent threat, or was there a specific communication, either written or verbal, that went out to the FAA and commercial airlines that was targeted specifically because of the fear of a commercial aircraft being used as a delivery system? Mr. Watson, let me turn to you first.
I don't know the answer to that question specifically, Congressman. I can't tell you if there was a circular went to the commercial side or what notification. I'll be glad to get back and try to answer that question.
I would appreciate it.
Okay. Maybe we can have it by this afternoon, closed session.
Thank you. Mr. Black, anything that might have emanated from
Sir,
CTC?
I'd like to help you out on this too, and I certainly do remember there were alerts and notifications going out. They have dates. I think they certainly were pretty descriptive. I just don't want to answer the question right now because I don't have all the facts available to me. What I will do is I'll promise you, so I'll get the information and get back to you.
I appreciate
don't want to misspeak here.
I appreciate that, and I recognize that you can't be the wealth of 100% of what transpired. I think it's very important that we separate, for the purposes of the answer, the FAA and the commercial airline industry specifically. If in fact this was an alert that went to the FAA but then was not disseminated to the airlines themselves, who are at the time were primarily responsible for the security within the airports, I think that's an important aspect that we need to know.
Okay.
By the same token, we would like to make sure that our system today for notification, heaven forbid that we were to have to put one out today, that if we had a similar situation where we believed there was a higher likelihood of a particular means of delivering the threat, and that was a commercial airliner, that in fact there might be a different alert that went to the FAA than went to general communities, specifying why they should read it and act on it more quickly. Let me, Mr. Watson, if I could, turn to you and ask you, in hindsight, on or about August 23rd, we put everything together as it related to Al-Midhar and Al-Hazmi being in the United States, and the FBI began a process to find these individuals. Using hindsight as a tool, did we respond at that time like we should have, or would you have responded differently looking back at it, i.e., did we put the correct number of people? Did we put the right people? Did we exhaust every possibility in what was a very short period of time, what ended up being a little over 2 weeks, to locate these individuals?
That can be a short answer or a long answer, and I think the short answer is I don't have a problem with what we did after August 23rd. If you recall, on the I-94, he lists his name on the I-94. He lists his sponsor as himself. He lists his occupation as fisherman, and he lists his place of staying as the Marriott, New York City. And there were 17 of those, long gone from the Marriott in New York City. Long gone, if you want to take this and think this through, long gone from California.
Let me ask you, if I could, because I've just got a couple of seconds left. I understand that the focus was on Al-Midhar. Was there an effort on Al-Hazmi to try to locate him? Because, in fact, he had an address that was in a phone book, though it wasn't current. He had an address that was the same under his own name on a visa extension that during the period he's in the country was granted was all the focus on al-Midhar and not on al-Hazmi?
It was on both. Absolutely on both. And if you recall though, and I know your time's up, and I'll be real short with the answer. Long gone out of California. Yeah, he was in the phone book. Yeah, he got a loan, and there are a lot of clues there, but he's not in California on August 23rd.
I thank both of you for your willingness. The chair has been very gracious. Thank you.